This is Carrie with Fullerton Professional Organizing, and now I am going to talk to you a little bit about McKel Kooienga. Now, both her first name and her last name are a little bit interesting to me. She has a website. She has a website, but she also has a YouTube channel where I found some of this information, Nutrition Stripped. And she talks about, well, what we're going to talk about is the YouTube that she talks about overeating, and we're also going to talk about the YouTube she has on the relationship with food. They're all from her. They're all part of her YouTube, and she has a lot of interesting information. So I'm just going to go over it a little bit, especially since my last video was talking about menopause, and now we're going to go into a little bit about our relationship with food. But she says a lot of the reasons we overeat is distracted eating. We just aren't paying attention to our bodies. We're not paying attention. We're eating while doing other things and not really paying attention to those cues of whether or not we feel full or if we're still hungry, which is very, very true. The first time I ever heard that, I started really paying attention to how it feels to be full and when to back off, because you have to back off before you really feel over full, or you will, because it takes a little time for your body to catch up on those cues. So I usually eat until I have just barely feel like I've eaten enough, because it usually will catch up, and then you'll feel the full extent of those cues of how full you are. But anyway, distracted eating, that she says to slow down and pay attention to how your body feels while you're eating. And of course, I've heard over the years, put your fork down between every bite and to chew a lot longer. Those can help in that. Emotional eating. That is probably the reason me or my husband would overeat, is just boredom, just stressed out, or whatever emotional feeling that just causes you to eat or want ice cream or sweets. You feel like sometimes if you had a bad day, you feel like you deserve a bowl of ice cream to make you feel better. All those comfort foods are called comfort foods because when you have a bad day, you tend to want something naughty to eat to make you feel better because you deserve to feel happy. And environmental, parties at work, food at work, entertain, just those things in your environment that tempt you to eat because it's fun. Okay. And then there's the off-limit foods, when it's the reason a diabetic craves sweets, because it's a no-no for them. You want what you can't have. So those off-limit foods also draw you in. Now, here are some tips. What are your hunger cues? You have to pay attention to your hunger cues. Eat without distractions, and keep a food journal so you can explore all those feelings around food and what you ate, how much, when, where, how, all of that stuff. All right. And then she also, on a different video, talks about 5 steps for a healthier relationship with food. And she talks about how journaling helps. Journal and defining what a healthy relationship with food looks like for you right now. And then how do you want to feel? And what are your food patterns? What are you doing, not doing, and what are you doing, for you to be in the situation that you're in with your relationship with food. And then 2, identify where the gap is between how you define a healthy relationship and what your current experience or actions are around food choices. In other words, what are the traps? What's working? What's not working? The first one was, what are you doing and what are you not doing? What do you want to be doing? And then the second one is, what are those traps? What's working for you and what's not working for you? Because what is keeping you from eating healthier, or causing you to have the relationship you have with food? And then take action. Brainstorm changes that you would like to make, and start small. You can't just stop eating, so you have to start small and make some small changes to your habits. And then 4, pay attention to your emotions, feelings, and the stories you tell yourself about your eating, negative stories you tell yourself. And then the 5th is just having a healthy lifestyle. And again, establishing some healthy habits into your lifestyle and making them a part of your life. Even if it is just walking 10 minutes a day at the beginning of your day or the end of your day. Just take small steps. All right, now here are some more things that she has to say. She shares tools on YouTube to help us assess our relationship with food, and gives us tips to set up our kitchen so we can both nourish our bodies and enjoy the foods we like. She has a lot to say about how to set up your pantry and your kitchen. What I teach in the mindful nutrition method is how to get to that happy medium, how to get truly centered in that balance where you are paying attention to nourishing your physical body. She also has YouTubes for those that need to gain weight, those that are too skinny and need to gain weight. I don't have that problem, so I'm going to continue with this segment. If you have a problem with gaining weight and being too thin and not being healthy that way, which is also just the flip side, then check out her channel for that as well. She has a lot of good things to say, and what the signs are that you're not eating enough. The goal is to break the cycle of going from one end of the spectrum to the other and find a happy medium where you are both nourishing your bodies and enjoying the foods that you like, and also eating enough. There are 5 foundational meal components that you want to include in your pantry, fridge, and freezer. It's protein, non-starchy carbohydrates, those are your green veggies, and starchy carbohydrates, fat, and the flavor factor. Of course, all of us know that the flavor factor for us eaters and foodies is very important. You'll want to have all 5 in your meals. Assess where you are on the balanced spectrum tool. Do you have the all-in mentality or the all-out mentality? Or do you have a balance of both? Do you cycle between the two? Start by asking yourself, do I have the foundational 5 meal components in my pantry, fridge, and freezer? And how can I organize my pantry to group these components together? She mentions how she likes to have smoothies in the morning. So she has all her smoothie components in one little basket that she can take that whole basket to the blender, make her smoothie, everything goes back into that basket and then back into her pantry instead of going after all these ingredients in all different spaces. She just has them all in one bin that she can carry back and forth. So she says, start by asking yourself, do I have the let's see, and how can I organize my pantry, group these components together? I already said that. Tip 1 for organizing your pantry is to start fresh. This means physically cleaning the space and also clearing out any expired food or foods that you're no longer going to eat. No longer, or foods that do not align with how you want to eat for a healthier lifestyle. Tip 2 is reorganize your space into the foundation 5 food groups. Tip 3 is to make your habits easy by reducing the resistance that will keep us from doing what we are wanting to do. An example would be to make a basket like we talked about that contain all the ingredients for your staple meals so that they are easy to put together. All right, guys, that is it for that segment, and I will leave the information for her YouTube channel, and she also has a website. You can get a lot of great information, and it's very informative and very interesting. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and I will see you on the next one.